King dressing room. I did not see how it happened. And there's Mr. McNall worried about his latest, or one of his latest, big-time investment. There's Gretzky.
With the shot.
And it's the puck that hit him. Hard to give that puck a 2-minute penalty, I can tell you that. So Gretzky goes to the bench bleeding. Could win the Conn Smythe Trophy this year.
There's Taylor with a long shot. Robitaille to backhand. It's at the goal mouth. They score. Alec dug it up, but it's being waved off. Terry Gregson is waving it off. It was laying right on the line up against the post, and Gregson has waved it off.
He's saying that Todd Elliott kicked it in. I'm wondering if Todd Elliott kicked it up to his stick and in. And there goes Elliott to the net. There's the puck right there. Now, did he kick it in, or did he kick it up to his stick and then put it in? Boy, that's a tough one. From that angle, we can't tell whether he kicked it over the line or not. Maybe we can from this shot. Now, look at the puck. It's not over. Statistics in the first period, Conn, were very close.
They score! A shot from the point by Boom. It was deflected, I believe, in front. It went off a Los Angeles player, but Boom lets the shot go and scores.
Well, on the least of any goal chances as far as quality is concerned, the first goal goes in. Boom gets the puck on the net. I think it hit an LA King player, deflected down and through Kelly Rudy. Certainly it wasn't a hard shot. And it may well have been number 6, Todd Elliott, who was very upset with himself after the goal went in. And here it comes. It hits Marty McSorley.
And across the line with Robitaille. Benning looking back to the point. Now goes cross ice to Duchesne. He winds up. Shot saved by Fuhr. Pinelli was poking away at the rebound.
Well, if you want to see how sharp Grant Fuhr is, this stop on a deflection will show you his reflexes are in fine form.
They have done the stitch work on the cut behind his ear and on the ear, but they have an ear specialist and a dentist. 1:13 remaining in the penalty. Blake gets it across. There's a shot that goes by. Alec along the boards, battling with Messier. Threw it back of the net. Smythe has it. Can't get it out in front of the net. They score! Robitaille!
57 seconds left in gentleman's penalty. Smythe had a chance to ice the puck and couldn't. The puck was turned over, recovered by Tonelli, who put it out quick. There's Wayne Gretzky. He's been in the clinic getting stitched and examined after getting hit in the ear with a shot.
Tonelli gets it back to the line. Benning shot off his skate to the corner. Robitaille back to the net for Alec. Out front for Tonelli. He scores!
Well, John Tonelli, boy, he scored a few goals like this in his day. Fighting off the defenseman Craig Muni long enough, putting all kinds of power on his stick to get the shot away. On a pass right here from behind the net. Tavish thinks he's got his stick tied up, but John's a little too strong, and there's the victory dance. Derriere.
And the Kings make a change in their penalty-killing alignment. 1:24 left in the penalty. Here's Tikkanen for Murphy. Saved by Rudy.
Well, that's the first rushing chance on the power play the Oilers have received tonight. Now, the LA Kings, they have to be careful. Getting takeouts on the penalty-killing situation is dangerous because often when you hit the guy, both you and the guy go down. Now you're 2 men short.
There's Tikkanen moving through. He scores!
Now here's the rush. You know, this is a lovely rush. I don't want to take anything away from Tikkanen, but this should not happen in the National Hockey League.
Granato comes back. Racing in, centering pass. They score! Tonelli with his second! Gary Curry. Here comes Dave Taylor. Taylor stopped, loose puck. Shot by Alec as he was coming in late. Now it's Gillen is starting away. 5:11 remaining. Edmonton back at full strength. Jelena throws it out front. They score!
Seminoff. Now, you can see McSorley chasing. Now, Robinson says, I better go get him. And nobody's got Seminoff. Boy, they're coming up with these dances after they score, aren't they?
He has 7 to it. Ahead to Klima. Klima against Waters. The shot right on. Puck loose in the corner. Lamb trying to get it back to Klima. He's tied up by Waters. Lamb gets it to Tikkanen. Tikkanen shot. Score!
The puck is stuck back in there by Mark Lamb, and he comes off the boards and shoots it. And it goes right through Kelly Rudy. Here's another look here. It may have hit the defenseman. If it did, that's why Rudy perhaps looked so surprised. But it's in the net. And Tikkanen's going for a touchdown right here.
So just 48 seconds into this second overtime period. Esa Tikkanen, the overtime hero in the 7th and deciding game against the Calgary Flames, does it again.
Ahead of the show, up 2-1 in the series. The Oilers take a lead in the first period of Game 4, but the Kings rally to try to force overtime for the 4th straight game. Esa Tikkanen's overtime winner put the Oilers up 2-1 in the series, and their back-to-back double overtime victories gave them a large psychological edge. Physically, however, the overtime victories were adding up. Edmonton had now played 5 straight overtime games dating back to the opening round. Fatigue, however, was not a factor for the fans, who seemed to re-energize the team as the Oilers got off to a quick start in Game 4.
And there's Mr. G. The question is, will the Oilers zero in on him physically with that bad ear the way they did in Game 2? And I suggest that there won't be a change in that strategy on the part of the Oilers. And
Rudy was screened in that one, but made the save. Benning trying to get it out. Before checking of the Oilers, paying off. Here's a shot by Johnny, and he scores! Granato in across the line. Sinisalo going for the net. Granato's backhand shot blocked by Lowe. Two of them battle in the corner for the puck. Klima tried to throw it out. Gretzky has it. Gretzky in front. Here's Robinson winding up. He scores!
Ilka Sinisalo tipped it. Larry Robinson took a bad angle shot. Gretzky, who starts lots of his plays from behind the net, throws it out in front to Sinisalo, which was past Sinisalo.
Puck up on edge. He slides it into the corner to Seminoff behind the net for Murphy. Seminoff back to Smythe. Here's a chance for Murphy. He scores!
Seminoff to Smythe. Smythe very quickly into Murphy, and then the Kings are in trouble.
Taylor trying to center it. It bounces. It's loose in the corner. They tried to play it back to the point, but it's broken up, and here come the Oilers. Seminoff leading the attack. Smythe trailing the play. Cross ice to Jelena. He scores!
Well, Jelena gets the goal, but Seminoff made the play.
He flipped it in for Murphy, who tried to move it ahead. Picked up by Robitaille, going in. Saved by Grant Fuhr.
Robitaille came off the bench and got a pass from Brown, really, who threw it out in front of the net. In Game 4 as they were in Game 3.
Back to the line to Boom. His shot. Brown with the rebound, and Kelly Rudy may have got a piece of that. Trying to drive for the net, gives it to Casper. Casper lost control of it. Back to the line to Blake. His shot is blocked before it gets to the goal. Benning dodges a check. Works in deep. Throws it out front, and Fuhr with a great save.
Well, Grant Fuhr made a great stop, and Smythe made a great play as he knocked 2 L.A. Kings to the ice that took a little bit of the starch off the shot. Sorley shoots the puck in. Graves tries to put McSorley into the penalty box without opening the door.
Cross ice to Blake. Blake for Gretzky. Gretzky going in deep, still has it, back to Blake. Blake shoots, it didn't get through. Duchesne winds up, scores!
I'm not sure Grant Fuhr saw all of it. 33 seconds left in the penalty to boot the boom, and 30 seconds left in the period. A huge goal by Duchesne from the point.
This time, Sinisalo along the board, trying to get out, check. Klima takes over. Klima's spun around, and Gretzky has it along the board. Check by Lowe. Lowe in front, and Klima scores!
Well, Kevin Lowe took the puck away from Wayne Gretzky and then split it to Peter Klima, who made no mistake. Right here, and then loses it to Lowe. And Lowe flips it to Klima, who very quickly let a shot go that caught Rudy before he was really ready.
Bjugstad is checked as the final seconds tick away. The fans have started their countdown. Joe Murphy overskated it. McIntyre fired it wide as he spins around, and the game is over.
Well, it was a fairly even game. The shot's 30-28, the score 4-2 for Edmonton. And really, the difference, in my opinion, was the spectacular goaltending of Grant Fuhr. And not that Kelly Rudy didn't put a good night in, but he was the second-best goalie in this building tonight.
3-2 after 40 minutes of play, but then just 1:49 into the third period. That man, Peter Klima, took a pass from Kevin Lowe after Lowe stole the puck from Wayne Gretzky at the blue line, and he made it 4-2, and a 3-1 lead in games for the Edmonton Oilers.
Ahead on the show, the Kings try to overcome a 3-1 series deficit against the Oilers for the second time in 3 years. That comeback begins at home in Game 5.
This could be the final skate-around of the year for Coach Tom Webster and his Kings. The club, favored to breeze over Vancouver and Edmonton, don't have their backs against the proverbial wall. The Oilers have nearly tossed them through it.
Just because they've went through a year where they've had all kinds of numerous injuries, they've had change in personnel, but one thing that you can never underestimate the Edmonton Oilers is what they've been through in the Stanley Cup. And when a team has that, you can always recall that experience and knowledge and pick that level up to play the very best hockey that you have to play.
Wayne Gretzky, the great one, is considered the franchise here in L.A., but the future is now for the Kings, a club which mortgaged their future just to get him.
We've known from the beginning of training camp that this is a very important year for this team and this franchise and the organization. And we all want respect for the Kings organization, and we feel very proud of what we've accomplished so far this year. But we all know that playoffs are a different story, and they mean everything, and we have to be willing to rise to that occasion.
We're in a tough situation. We're not trying to run from that. We realize we're up against a good hockey club, and we're down 3-1. But we also look at we lost 2 games in double overtime. We feel that a bouncer in there would be 2-2. You know, we don't feel we played poorly.
The Oilers may be the defending Stanley Cup champions, but they're a bit like comedian Rodney Dangerfield. They don't get any respect.
We've had a lot of adversity this year and played through a lot of injuries. And right now we have a lot of people who are well rested and never really played a lot of games through the 80-game schedule, like Grant Fuhr and Mark Messier.
I don't know if teams took us lately or not. I mean, this team seems to come to play when it's playoff time, and playoff time showed up, the boys showed up, and...
With 3 straight victories, the Oilers now led the series 3-1, and they appeared to be in complete control. Previous playoff collapses against the Kings, however, had Edmonton on guard to avoid any complacency. Time was running out for Los Angeles, though. Luc Robitaille had been the L.A. hero in Game 1, scoring the tying and winning goals. With their playoff lives now on the line in Game 5, the Kings were once again looking to their high-scoring winger for some help.
Well, the fans here in L.A. haven't given up hope.
Behind the play. Here's a pass now for Semenoff going in. He scores!
Semenoff came off the bench on the change and walked in all alone, and what a move he made when he got in there.
Out for Simpson, and that didn't get through. Anderson quickly flipped that puck out in front of the net for Simpson. Here's a race for a loose puck. Casper's got it. Casper going in. Scores!
Well, there's nothing like a shorthanded goal to lift your spirits.
Klima lays it back to the other point. McIver moving in. Back to Teagan, and there's his shot, and Rudy's got that.
A real hard shot by Essetikinen from the point, but no Oilers, Joe Murphy and Peter Klima, either didn't have time or the inclination to get in front of Rudy.
And Glenn Anderson brings it out of the zone.
I still think the Kings need people in front of the net earlier than they had him on that last shift with two good point shots.
Loose puck in front of the net. They score! Robitaille! Four skaters against three. Duchesne back to the point to Gretzky. Gretzky moves in. A shot blocked in front of the net. McTavish flips it to the line. Blocked by Gretzky. Gretzky as Sandstrom comes out of the box to Duchesne. His shot. Benning picks up the rebound. Here makes another save. Loose in front of the net. They score!
Luke Robitaille puts his second goal of the night into the net.
And the puck brought back by the Kings. Alec in across the line. Alec is checked. Gets it again. Alec takes the shot. They score!
Luke Robitaille, hat trick, and boy, he pulled the trigger very quickly on that one. That puck was not on his stick for any length of time at all. The Oilers had a chance to get the puck out of the zone and didn't. Ellick kept it in, and it's raining hats in Inglewood, California at the moment, as Luke Robitaille succeeds in the hat trick, and it is a pure hat trick on 3 in a row. He's still covering Gretzky, even though they're on the bench. That guy follows his orders, doesn't he?
Stay with him, John Muckler said to Essetikinen, and he can thank Rob Blake for helping out in that one as he checked Peter Klima just as he was getting set to shoot into an empty net. Honey's long shot, he scores!
4 seconds to go in the penalty. The 7th shot on goal in this power play. I don't think anyone tipped it into the net.
Deflected down the ice by Taylor, and Charlie Huddy has to chase it down in his own zone. 5 minutes left in the hockey game. 4-2. The Kings leading the Oilers. Pass intercepted. Alec shoots, scores!
Then he became a forward. And here
Now
they
we
go.
have Miller and Brown trying to get at each other.
And the rest of the game's over. But is the fight. Cleaner heads should prevail.
So the Los Angeles Kings, with Thomas Sandstrom returning to the lineup, score a 5-2 victory, and they force a 6th game in this Smythe Division final that will take place at Northlands Coliseum on Sunday night.
Still ahead on the show with Los Angeles now trailing 3-2 in the... Luke Robitaille's hat trick had narrowed the Kings' series deficit to 3-2 and immediately evoked haunting memories for the Oiler fans. How could they forget 1989 when the Oilers blew a 3-1 series lead against the Kings? Suddenly, Game 6 was a must-win game for both the Kings and the Oilers.
Grant Pure's in the ambulance. They're taking him to the hospital. There's a possibility he fractured his arm. Boy, they were lucky. McIntyre went to the net. He didn't. I don't think he got a stick on it, but it hit him in the leg. And if that puck had gone in, even though it wasn't put in by McIntyre on the stick, but off him, it would have counted. Let's have a look and see why he called it. Here comes the shot. And Jelen is in the crease, but I'm not too sure he went in on his own. Looked like he was knocked in. Let's have another look at it. There was no question about Rudy going down, but
John Muckler is upset. The Oilers, most of them anyway, were celebrating what they thought was the overtime winner.
well, there's Simpson keeping it in, as McTavish said. Klima throws it to the front. Larry Robinson tries to tie McTavish up, can't control his stick, and McTavish, I think, was being a little less than honest when he said all it did was hit my stick. When you look at that replay, he fought off Robinson.
Bill Ranford congratulated by his teammates. As the game continues here at Northlands Coliseum, the players lining up to shake hands. Deprived of a goal that appeared to have ended by Anatoly Semenov. Seconds later, Craig McTavish converts Peter Klima's centering pass. A 4-3 Edmonton victory. 16:57 of this first overtime. The game ends, and the Edmonton Oilers move on once again to the Campbell Town.